Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. I think I'm going to have to go into the bushes because it's raining. I thought to myself, it's raining. It's not going to stop me sitting on my step, but actually it's a little bit damp. So I'm kind of like, I'm snuggling into the what is it? Pyrocanthus. It's got wicked prickles on it. Good morning, Amy. That's lovely that you're there. Hello. Tracy is there. That's brilliant. Good morning, Dawn. So I'm basically hiding my iPad. I don't care getting wet, but I prefer that my device didn't. Hello, Alison. Fantastic. So it's great that some of you are joining me this morning. You must have known we're talking about an important subject today. Now, I'm just going to quickly wiggle that round. Can you notice I've been trimming my bush? Right, enough of that. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Tracy. Fantastic. Okay. Just to remind you, I bet you haven't forgotten, but it's our quiz on Friday. It's Wednesday today. How can it be 10 days already, 11 days since the last quiz? I don't know how, but it is. So, good morning, Karen. Please put it in your diary if you happen to be available 7:30 on Friday. I really hope you're going to join us. I'm just going to move the watering can. Percy Thrower is not out today because it's raining. Okay, so when we did our 10 days of Ditch the Muffin Tops, I ran out of days because there were so many different things to talk about. And I thought to myself, do you know what, Emma, we've never talked about salt and salty snacks. Now, I want to know how many of you, give me a thumbs up, are you a salty snack person? Is there nothing better than you like than a nice glass of something cold on a hot day and some crisps or some, I don't know, whatever, crisps. Good morning, Miranda. So I want to know how many of you like this sort of thing. Okay, we've got some Coy's ridged there. We've got some mini cheddars there, yeah? Give me a thumbs up. How many of you really like salty snacks? As you know, I'm waiting for your answers, I'm a sweet person, so I will personally choose sweet things to snack on, but I know lots of my lovely friends do like savoury snacks. Miranda likes savoury snacks. Amy likes hula hoops. Oh, Margaret likes crisps. I know. Dawn, they are very naughty, but it doesn't stop people eating them, Dawn. Okay, just a few, I've got a few facts for you here. Now, we never say anything is bad, okay? It's how often you eat them and the quantities you eat. Hello, Lou. So, I did a tiny bit of research this morning and reminded myself that a healthy adult needs 6 grams of salt a day, okay? 6 grams or 2.5 grams of sodium. Or Tracy likes Walker's prawn cocktail. Okay, Mary's the same as me, chocolates and biscuits. Okay, so the daily recommended intake of salt for an adult is 6 grams, and which is 2.5 grams of sodium. I'm just moving in a little bit more because the rain is getting heavier. Hello. Okay, so that might not. I mean, who knows what 6 grams of salt like? But I can tell you what it is. It's a teaspoon. Dawn hasn't eaten crisps in the last 3 months. Well done, Dawn. What sits for Tracy? Yeah, crisps are one of my weaknesses. Okay. Okay, so 6 grams. It's a teaspoon. Now you think, so, well, I'm not going to have a teaspoon a day, am I? But probably going to be easier to mount up if you choose certain food types. Okay, so if you're eating crisps, obviously. Funnily enough, this tiny little bag, have you noticed shrinkflation? I have. The bags are getting smaller. But they're still very moreish, and because they're so small, you think, oh, I'll just eat 2. Now, this tiny bag, this is an ounce, which is just under an ounce, it's 25 grams, and this has got 0.6 grams of salt. So that's 10% just in that tiny little bag. Funnily enough, the McCoy's ridged, okay. Can you see that traffic light system at the bottom? That's really good. They're amber because they're 0.38, okay? The bacon ones are 0.38. So that's kind of like 5% of your daily intake. So thinking about that teaspoon of salt, which is the maximum we should be having in a day. Now, the reason why it matters, actually, before I go on to anything else, I'm just wiping the rain off my iPad. The reason why it matters is because if you have too much salt, it puts up your blood pressure, which puts you more at risk of heart disease, heart attacks and stroke. Not a great thing. So actually, the amount of salt you eat does matter, okay? Some of us have a salty tooth, some of us don't. So salt is used for to preserve food and to give it flavour. So the more processed food you eat, the more the higher salt intake is going to be. So salt is obviously, so I was looking at, salt is obvious on crisps, on peanuts, when you add it to your food at the table, when you add it to your cooking, that's obvious salt, okay? Hidden salt you're going to find in things like processed food. It's used as a preservative, so anything like ready meals, sauces, so any processed food, breakfast cereal, bread, cheese, bacon, processed meat can be very high in salt. So what you need to do is to check the packaging and just have a quick look. So that, let me just turn it round. That traffic light system is very helpful. Can you see it? So it's showing amber as salt. That means it's medium. The fat content is high because it's red. And the sugar content is low, funnily enough. In a packet of bacon crisp, that's green. So if you're buying processed foods, check out the labels. If you're cooking from scratch, which is always great, but I totally understand that not everyone has the interest all the time. Although cooking from scratch doesn't necessarily take long, check the labels of your sauces. Otherwise, check some recipes and make your own tomato sauces, which haven't got loads of salt put in them. And so also things like stock cubes. I've been buying low salt stock cubes, and you can get low salt. It's actually called LO-salt, which tastes like salt but doesn't have the same amounts of sodium in it. So that can be useful for some people. The only snag though is that it doesn't change your palate. It still makes you want that salty flavour. So it may well be that you could just slightly reduce what you cook with. And then your palate just adjusts. It's a bit like when you change your milk. I don't know about you, but when I was a child, I used to have blue milk, okay? And then in time, the family moved to green milk. And if you're used to green milk, if someone gives you blue milk in your tea or coffee, you go, ugh, doesn't taste nice. That's because you've adjusted. Let's say hello to these people. Hello, Sharon, Denise, Alison, Annie, Lorna. Yes, good to see you. What was I talking about? Yeah, the palate. Your palate will change. Hello, Tracy. The milk, that's right. So your palate gets used to change. So, if you change from blue milk to green milk, you'll notice when someone gives you blue. If you're on green milk and you change to red milk, you get used to it, skim milk. Someone gives you green milk, it's eek. So your palate can adjust. You're not an old dog. You can learn new tricks, all right? Remember that. So just be aware of what food you're eating that might have a lot of salt in it, and just maybe trim it back. So I'm just thinking of something that would be really fun, that would be absolutely packed with salt. So I'm thinking a white bread sandwich with bacon and cheese. That's going to be a lot of salt in that. So if that's your favourite thing, don't have it too often and have it as a treat at a weekend. I guess it's things like if you're buying ready-made pizzas and it's got lots and lots of meat on top, that's going to be much higher in salt, especially if it's got cheese on it as well. So you could always either make your own, so I was just wiping the rain off, you can either make your own pizza or get a base and just add extra vegetables and don't put on all the salty meat. That's just one idea. So the last thing about crisps is portion size. Okay, now I don't know about you, but I absolutely love salt and vinegar crisps. Oh, the rain's getting heavier. This might have to be shortened. But over Christmas, I got into a bit of a bad habit of buying big bags. So instead of just eating a 25-gram bag, big bags come in 100 grams and 150 grams, depending on the type you buy. So a big bag could either be 4 bags of crisps or 6 bags of crisps. And in an evening, it would be quite easy to just tuck in, num, 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 few more. Anyone else? No, good. Glad you don't like the flavour I like. Keep going. And you could eat 6 bags of crisps if you ate the whole bag. And I'm sure some of you go, oh, do you know what, Emma, I'd never eat a whole bag. Well, I can. I shouldn't be proud of that, but I can eat a whole bag. Not straight away, but over the course of the evening. Whereas I would never buy a 6-pack and just open 6 bags one at a time. That wouldn't feel right at all. Hello, Tracy, and hello, Lynn. But somehow munching my way through a large, big bag of crisps didn't seem quite so bad. So that will affect your salt intake as well, your portion size. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're planning your shopping and just looking at what you're eating in a day. See how much salt you reckon you're eating. And it's not raining extra. Oh, that's very nice, Alison. It is incredible. But we want your food to be varied and interesting, but try, instead of lots of salt in your cooking, try herbs and spices, and maybe try and reduce the number of ready-made sauces you might use, and make your own. We will send the rain clouds over, Alison. Yeah, I think it's going to be intermittent today. I'm walking with my friend at 10 o'clock. It's going to need a coat, I think. We're socially distancing, of course, but can't wait for that. It'd be really nice. See my friend. Right, okay, have an amazing Wednesday. I'm teaching Pilates this afternoon, and it's live Pure Stretch at 7 on our Way to Fitness Champions closed page. It's raining in Tracy's bit. Oh, okay, Tracy, send the rain clouds over to Alison. Her garden needs a drink. See you all tomorrow, everyone.